In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa. Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.
Hello, viewers around the world. Good day to you. My name is Mark Godwin Iwejuwa, and we're here on our Friday News Echoes World Affairs. It is beautiful Friday here in Milan, Italy, on this 28th day of June 2024. And I'm excited to have my colleagues and coordinators in different parts of the world. Yes, our man, Ogbeni Olayinka Raji, you are welcome. I know you're tied up in one activity out there, but how are you?
Yes. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Mark. I'm glad to be here today. I'm out of town now. I'm somewhere in Ibadan attending to a burial service. But this program is too important for me to miss.
Thank you. And you are very important for us. You are very important for us to do a program without. We want you at all points in time. So you're welcome.
Yes. So good.
Yeah. Good. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Raji. So we're here, Raji, and a lot is happening. Raji, if you look at me, I'm red-eye shots all around me. You know why? Because we had to stay awake and follow the this historic Biden-Trump debate. We had to follow it well. We had to listen. We had to watch. And so, you know, the time difference with America and Europe. Yes, you have that about 7 hours difference. So while it was 9 o'clock in Atlanta, where that event was held, we were doing early morning. It was about 3-4 o'clock a.m. in the morning in Europe, Western Europe. Okay, Raji, you're welcome. So we're happy to stay awake. We're happy to be tuned in to world occurrences because we're doing this for our viewers, and we want to do more. As our diva from Lagos, Nigeria, Diva BD Nana joins us. BD, you're welcome.
Thank you, Massive Mark. Good morning. Raji, good morning. Our viewers, thanks for joining us again today.
Nice. Good morning, guys. Okay. Let's not waste much time. A lot of fast breaking news also coming in. It's good you guys are at your different corners there. We're hearing some news from Nigeria, from Africa, from Europe, everywhere. Well, let me begin with the one a little bit close to me. There's a European country called Slovakia. Slovakia yesterday had a train and a bus accident. Train and bus collided, and as at now, they say 6 people are dead, and about 5 to 7 people have been reportedly injured following that crash. So it's a crash in a city in the east of Slovakia, and 6 people so far, but maybe the numbers might increase as time goes on. Slovakia, Europe. So also from Europe, we heard that the European Union leaders, the European Commission, Brussels, are nominating. There's a woman there that is like the Commission leader, the Commission chairperson. We call her von der Leyen from Germany. Now, what we're hearing this morning is all the various country representative wants her to continue another second term of 5 years for EU Brussels. So EU top job has been opened again to von der Leyen, the woman that sits as the current chairperson for European leaders, European Commission. So they want her to continue another 5-year term. And this is what we were hearing early this morning. So also the news of Kenya and the riots. I think you guys will give us update on that too. BD and Raji, Kenya riot is still going on even when the president said he's agreeing to some of the terms. Raji, what's happening? Yeah. Kenya is still boiling.
Yes, and it's expected. I think there have been a lot of pent-up fury against the government, against the activities of the government since the government came in. And I saw a list of demands, which if transported to Nigeria, would look like very, very tiny demands. But in the Kenyan environment, it is very, very important. They are asking the government to cut down on unnecessary expenses. Their parliamentary expenses, the presidential expenses, the travel cost of the president, and so many other things. And these are all genuine requests. And they are demanding that the government should spend more money on the people than on itself, and which is also very, 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 very commendable. I can't hear you. You are on mute. Unmute yourself.
Yes. Sorry there. Sorry for that. So I'm saying that. But in all of this, several people have died, as the report is giving us, and unfortunate. Thousands of people have also joined that movement. And as of Tuesday, as of Wednesday, a lot of the protesters were really hell bent on continuing. They are not satisfied with what is happening in their country. And what we also had is Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is also planning to start a protest. BD, what do you have on Kenya?
Yeah, the president have actually given up that he's no longer signing the finance bill to law, and the youths still continue with the protest. They started by calling for resignation of the president. They now listed the things they actually want the government to reverse, cost of governance and other bills they mentioned. Now, you see, what I saw in Kenya is the power of people. And I wish other countries, more especially Nigeria, should learn this. Do you understand? You know, during this protest, 13 people were killed. And that did not deter them. They continued. When I spoke with one of them, I said, you guys are not afraid. They've already killed 13 people and you're still on the street. He said, if they go back now, it means that they value their own life more than the life of the ones that have been killed. That the only way they can show these people that they feel what they felt, even at the point of death, is by going through with what they are going through and make sure they achieve something. And honestly, I commend the Kenyan youth. You see, they said the Gen Z don't know what they are doing, but this is what a power of Gen Z and power of unity can do. This kind of thing cannot happen in Nigeria. By the time you kill 2-3 people, they will run away. Lastly, you see, the police of Kenya understand they are Kenyans before being the police. Do you understand? That is what Nigerian police don't understand. You see how most of the protesters came close to them, but they understand that if this thing work well, them as military people, force people, they will benefit. But an average Nigerian policeman don't think in that direction. Honestly, I'm proud of being an African by what Kenya youth have done. I'm really proud of them.
Nice. Okay, let's welcome one African that we're proud of to have in the show, and that's Dr. Godwin Ibe from Moscow, Russia. Dr. Godwin, how are you?
I'm fine, and you? Hope everyone is good.
Yes.
Good to have me. Thank you for having me. Thank you viewers for tuning in.
Thank you. So yes, Raji Godwin, we're talking Kenya, and these protesters have they are asking for so many things. First of all, they say the economic situation in their country is nothing to write home about, and the cost of living, so many things, tax. Godwin, do you think they will get all of these demands, all these requests they are making? So far, I think one has been granted. But do you think all of these Kenyan protesters' demand will be met?
I always say democracy. The guarantor of democracy. We can define democracy all we want, of the people, by people, for the people. We can add from the people or in the people or on top of the people. Anyhow you want to do it. I mean, no matter how many times you add people into it, the guarantor of democracy is actually the army. If you get the army on your side, where they are unwilling to shoot protesters, they are unwilling to commit crimes, and they respect the law, then they can allow you to protest in peace or probably get away with what you want. And the fact is that whatever message they're selling was resonating with the security apparatus. And that's a fact. So it has gotten to the stage where not only them were suffering, but even those civilians who are part of the security apparatus. And that's one of the reasons why I also tell Nigerians, when I make statements like this, like it sounds like as if I'm not empathizing. I really empathize. I mean, and I think Nigerians have suffered much more than we should ever dream of suffering. But when that suffering transcends tribalism, transcends party politics, transcends all sorts of division, then the security apparatus will have no option but to be on the side of the civilians, because every issue that those civilians are talking is strikes back at home. And that's what we are seeing in that place. And obviously, if they know what they want and they really have the whole backing of security apparatus, they will get not only that, but they will get every single thing they want. It's them who hold the key and the leverage. But if it's the other way around, they don't have enough backing, then yeah, it's a little bit dicey. And of course, the thing that gives the security apparatus a lever, as we call it in Nigeria, the boldness or courage, is the backing of geopolitical powers.
Yes.
For example, when US says, we won't sanction, you can do what you want, don't worry, you can deal with those civilians the way you want, we won't sanction you. Then they'll do what they want. But if the US says, please, it's not our decision, Russia saying, no, we want to listen to people, then the security understands that they won't get away with crimes.
That's it. Nice. Said this so well. So this is it, viewers. Kenya is still out there protesting. The youths, the Gen Z, like they call them, thousands of them are moving on the streets. They are asking, they say they are dissatisfied with the current economic situation. They are dissatisfied with government policies and tax on them and all of it. So we're watching, but we don't want them to be killed. We don't want this killing. That's what we don't want. Raji, go ahead. Raji, you want to say something?
Is it the Kenya situation shows you that Kenya has found, the Kenyans have been able to convert their country into a nation. And therefore, there's hardly any division between the people. But in Nigeria, Nigeria is a balkanized country. And we are nowhere near being national, because there's no national ethos that guides us. And therefore, every nationality in this country sees itself as different from the other. And therefore, there's hardly any demonstration that you are going to have that will unite everybody. We see even those who are suffering more fighting you because they think that you are destabilizing their relationship with the government, which seems to be which seems to give them some succor, and that your demonstration is going to deprive them from reaching that succor. So until we transform into a nation, there's nothing that any demonstration could achieve for us.
I totally agree with Raji.
Okay.
I totally agree with Raji. But now, if you look at what happened in Kenya, it's not like they don't have the the division thing, it's actually the youth that started this. The youth took the first bold step. If you remember, there was a time their parliaments walked out to join them. If you remember, the youths were united. They were focused. They have a purpose, and they were driving it with everything in them. Do you understand? But what is Nigerian youth doing? They are the one ending the tribal war, the criticism, the division. That is what Nigerian youths are doing. They are helping their old father, their old mother to carry the beef they were having even before they were born, even before their mothers and their father were born. The Kenyans did not see that. That's actually why they're achieving what they're achieving. So I think it's shame to us, young Nigerians. I'm telling you.
Interestingly,
sorry, Bidi, you don't agree with me. You didn't say you agree with me. You don't agree with me, or you...
No. You said it all. Of course, you actually said it all. You actually said it all. No. I say, what you said is actually what I was saying before you came, but you expanded it in a more, well-focused way. I said it that they were able to achieve that because the police were not shooting. If the police were shooting them,
that's the end.
50 or 100.
You talk about the youth. The reason I'm saying is because the reason I'm saying is that we're actually saying the same thing. And that's why I'm poking fun at you. Yeah. But the youth you're talking about, the youths are all of different tribes, different parties, but they allow the suffering. This is common language.
Yes,
it transcends all those differences, and that's what I've been saying from Adam in this program. That when our suffering reach the point where it transcends all our differences, there will be no more. He's from my side. He's from this side.
I want to ask one question. Maybe probably you guys should answer me. You see this hungry we're talking about. Nigerian youths are actually feeling it, but I don't know why. Yes. The tribal, the religion is still surpasses their hunger. I'm telling you, they are feeling it. They are hungry now, but in midst of that hungry, they are still defending their tribe. They are still defending their religion. Why is this so? I'm telling you.
There's a level of cognitive dissonance. Where even as they see that they are suffering. Look, when you go throughout the whole of the north, the Almajiris are suffering so wickedly, and yet they find it difficult to rise up against their overlords, the Fulanis who have been suppressing them. And meanwhile, when they come down to the north, to the south, and the south are on a demonstration, they won't join us. Have you ever seen any demonstration starting in Abuja? You can't. They all start the demonstration in Lagos because that's where they have the critical mass to join the demonstration. But meanwhile, government is in Abuja. So there's no way because the center of the demonstration has shifted from the center of power, and therefore power doesn't feel it.
And that is why we should also learn to stop focusing on individual. We always like to attack individuals instead of focusing on policies.
Individuals, yes.
When we have passed that, this thing, one of the symptoms, one of the signs that we have passed, we have suffered enough to pass party politics is when we start talking about policies and not person. We start saying like this, either based on, it doesn't matter who it is, but this meritocracy, the policies and the results, the return on investment. When we start speaking along those lines, it will be certainly clear that we've gone beyond party politics.
Yes.
Just the same thing.
Good.
A single case. Sorry.
Good. Okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Just one point before. A single case is this Lagos Calabar Coastal Road, where government is budgeting 15 trillion naira. 15 trillion for a road, and yet if you see the insults I've gotten, curses from people who believe that it is an infrastructure, it is a good investment. What is investment in road? What is the investment in there? There's no returns on investment on road, even if you are tolling the road.
But what do you mean no return on road? I mean on this particular project, yes, a ways, but you mean on road in general as a principle? What are you trying to say?
No, you see, a country a state cannot go on borrowing money to build roads.
Okay.
To build a road.
You can't borrow money to build roads because it is a
but
bloody
it depends
way.
on the percentage of GDP and on your debt to GDP ratio. If you're able to sum how many percent of your income is going to debt.
All those
not
economic
in this
terms
situation of
fail,
Nigeria. Not in this
fail
situation of
entirely and
Nigeria.
completely in Nigeria.
You understand?
They fail entirely and
But
completely.
let's not attack the principle. Let us attack the culprit. That's what I'm saying. It's not the principle of borrowing for infrastructure that is bad. It is the principle of mismanagement and having a high debt load. Let us call it spade a spade.
We are saying the same thing. And that's why I'm very happy that the president of Kenya insisted that they are now going to start living within they are living within their means. They want to live within their means because you can't just borrow and then we start taxing people. You can't live with outside your means by spending billions on travel, by spending billions on the National Assembly.
Yes,
you are living with. You can't borrow to be doing
and
that.
Keep overtaxing your citizens.
That's the main problem. When we have very high cost of governance and the high debt to GDP ratio. So where we say most of these things are recurring. Actually, most of Nigerian expenses are not capital expenses, are recurrent expenses.
No. Yes.
Recurrent. Most of Nigerians' expenses are recurrent. So that's the problem. That's the main problem we're having. We have such a high debt load that most of our payments are recurrent, and that's the big thing. Otherwise, it's not the idea itself.
We are living outside our means and borrowing to live big.
Okay.
That's why the vice president and the president will spend 5 billion on trips.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Very crucial discussion here. Crucial, I tell you. Our viewers, you are tuned into our Friday update, World Affairs. Now let's come to something that also concerns us as media people, as what they call the free world of expression. There's a young man called Julian Assange. He has returned home as a free man to Australia, and after taking a plea deal with United States, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, you all might have been following the story. He's back in Australia, his home country, and we're all looking and checking all that made up this whole story. So it goes back to a long time ago. Yes, almost 14 years now. Julian Assange was taking. First of all, he was what the case was they said he plead guilty to espionage. That's he did some things that he shouldn't have done, even though we tend to say we have the freedom of speech and all that. So his whistleblower website opened up a lot, leaked up so many confidential articles alongside an army intelligence officer, that's Chelsea Manning. Then they opened up a lot of things about the Iraq and Afghanistan war and posted it on their website. Years later, he was taken in. But today, as of today, he has pleaded guilty to some of those charges, and he has struck a plea deal with America. And now he's a free man after 12 years of battle to be extradited to the United States on that plea deal. So I'm trying to bring up some images here. So this is it. I don't know if you guys are all following those stories. Sorry, this is what is happening in the international scene concerning Julian Assange, the WikiLeaks founder. So Godwin, I know you used to talk about this man, and you've said a lot about him. What do you have? What's your update on this whole story?
All his allegations, most of them about the intelligence agencies, turned out to be true, as we know today. Just like many, and that's what's important. That's the issue of silencing voices that don't go against the mainstream, especially when they are constructive and for the public interest, not destructive, not personality attacks, but basically for the interest of the public. silencing those voices is a danger to our progress, because more often than not, they turn out to be true. We saw it with COVID-19, by the way. We all know, okay, we agree that vaccines are generally good for humanity. In terms of they've helped, but we did not speak a lot about the money the pharma company and their desire, due to their monetary interest, could hide some information or promote the ones that they want promoted at the expense of a more efficient one. And one of those things we saw was the fact that even after taking the vaccine, you could spread the virus. This was silenced all through the lockdown period. Now we are seeing the same thing with Julian Assange. We also have Snowden, by the way, in Russia. We hope that the next extension will be extended to him. Russia has an open arm for such people, and Snowden is enjoying his life in Russia. But we also hope that anyone who does something in the interest of general public should be, protected by the law. And it's a shame that countries of which you were citizens of did not do anything about it. Especially the fact that in the UK you cannot, it's not citizen of UK by the way, but in the UK you cannot keep somebody without trial for such long. But because at the behest of US request, the law was bended and to please. Well, honestly, I think it's not. We should celebrate his release, but it's also a shame to all the countries that refuse to do enough, and all the journalists.
His country's one-time Prime Minister, Kevin Rudd, and I think presently he's the ambassador to Australia, to United States. He did a lot. He facilitated a lot in this issue, negotiated with America, and he is also standing as one of those as a shorty for him. So also take note that the Australian government as a country came up also and stood for him. They gave the flight even that was used to take him out of UK to the different islands he went to take the plea deal. So his country has done their part, but one thing is you can't also really go do some of what he did. I mean, yes, it's free speech, free world, but you can't just come and be giving out that informations on some, classified informations like that. Nobody does that. We as individuals have our classified informations that you keep to yourself. So talk less of countries and in that context. So well, he's a free man now. Raji, what do you say about
I think what he tried to expose is the capacity of government to monitor you without your knowledge, to monitor everything you do, including how you breathe, the concubines you have, the secret deeds, anything you do. And it is also a breach of a person's freedom. And therefore, that's what it is. In fact, every equipment that you have now, every equipment you have, even your phone, is spying on you. And it's what the government is doing. And that is what he actually tried to reveal. And then you see, with the way things are now, the knowledge is now being deposited in a single space, which is in the cyberspace, in the clouds. And therefore, all these repositories have a system of trying to withdraw certain knowledge that they don't want to be general. Your opinion is now being monitored, is now being warped. And if you say anything on social media that even if it is true that the social media perspective thinks otherwise, you will be blocked. So we are now going through serious restrictions. And these are all the things that Assange and Snowden were trying to let us know that the government is after you.
And let me add something to what you just said. Concerning what you just said now, he showed not just the government monitoring, but the influence of government over the so-called independent big tech, independent fact checkers.
Yes.
And how do I put it? He also kind of gave credence to the idea of the stages of repression. The first repression they give you is a warning, a kind warning. The second warning they will give you is they'll put a leash on your mouth by demonetizing you and banning you. And then the third one is either they come for your life through covert or overt means. And he laid credence to those that degree of repression. And also it's also one last very, very important thing is the idea of end-to-end encryption, which a lot of people are so happy with. Oh, it's end-to-end, so I'm encrypted, whatever we say. Let me tell you, today we have what we call NPUs, neural processing units, that work with artificial intelligence. So they can scan what you do even before they're encrypted on your phone, like this Windows record that was recalled back. They anticipate your effort, and to anticipate your effort, they preemptively monitor you and notice what you want to do and even suggest what you should do. So the end-to-end encryption right now is dying away because of this era of artificial intelligence and the neural processing units that are local on the device.
End-to-end encryption thing, to be honest with you, we've been... I'm coming. We've been programmers. We know it's all fallacy. It's all to just give people, users, confidence that they are safe. But all those talk of end-to-end, all that, blah, 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 it's not. I mean, anybody can do anything as long as they have the back end of any handles. They have the access to the back end. So all those talk is just confidence. Build confidence on users and make them feel relaxed, and also more people coming to that space.
Just one more thing. Do you think that those people at Zuckerberg and Google and all those things, they started those things on their own? There is a background security apparatus that has the facility to do all these end-to-end encryption things and give you the impression that you are safe. And then they now offload this thing to these other agents, essentially agents, and you see that most of them are connected to the Zionist regime.
Okay, yes, Billy, go ahead.
Question I want to ask.
Go ahead. Want to hear you.
Bidi, sorry, Bidi.
I say what I don't understand is that when it comes to, it's okay, no problem. When it comes to government, it becomes a classified document. But when it comes to in people, they have free access. Do you understand, to people's document information? That's what I don't understand. Now, my question to Julian is it a kind of manipulation? Because over the years he has been saying he's not guilty, but this time around, is it because he now accepted how he was guilty? That was why he was released. And the kind of welcoming attention I expected they should give him, they did not give it to him. Those are the things I don't really understand.
Imagine if he was coming from Russia. Imagine if he was coming from Russia.
Yeah, let's go on a small break, guys. We'll come on this talk discussion again. Viewers, let's go on a short break. You're tuning into SSF Friday World Affairs. Thank you guys for being here. Let's go and come back. Thank you.
Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
All right, viewers, well, welcome back to SSM Friday World Affairs. My name is Mike Godwin Iweajunwa, and we are talking international updates. I'm here with BD from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm here with Godwin Ibe from Moscow, Russia, and yes, Raji, I think. So yes, BD, you were asking some very pertinent questions there. Julian Assange formerly was denying everything. Now he just pleaded guilty and said yes, he's guilty of all the single espionage charges against him. Well, we know what like Godwin was saying. Most times, this government policy or government security arms, they come real strong on you. You know, while he was in Ecuador embassy taking refugee, they did something. They pushed him to the wall and made the Ecuadorian diplomats to now go against him. So while he was there, he was a problem, you know, and that was pressure coming from these two countries, the US, United States, and Britain. Now he left there and went and took refuge in another place, and the pressure continued. So he just couldn't stand those pressures, and he had to just own up. So he has owned up now, and well, he's home. He's relaxed. He said he will be sleeping more. He will be taking more deep in the sea. He will be swimming. He will be refreshing himself from all that he has gone through. Godwin, is there any more thing you want to add on Julian Assange and his situation? Or we go forward.
Well, I think considering his age, he might decide to retire. But he could still continue what he wants. If he can still continue, the only thing is that he knows now not to travel to some countries that their sovereignty from American politics or the parties who commit these crimes, where they are not sovereign enough to say no. So he has to now monitor where he goes to, and if he should he decide to continue his WikiLeaks. Like I said, it's very. I'm very happy to see him released, but I think those countries, for it to have taken this long, and I'm saying it because I really care about. It doesn't matter which citizen. Look, we have Snowden here. It's an American. It's not a Russia. It's not in Nigeria. But I'm saying, come on, go take your guy. What are you doing? I negotiate. Come take your guy. You have Paul Whelan here in Russia, U.S. citizen. Guys, come take your guy. You took Greta, what's her name again? The basketballer with that smokes weed instead of a guy, a diplomatic guy.
So I wonder why they did not. I wonder why they did not go to negotiate on his behalf. What happened? I wonder why.
Take your guys. It's not. You don't say we are against Americans now. Listen. We are pro-American. We are pro-American citizen. Come and take your citizen, but negotiate. Do what you need to do. Don't take people just for media wokeness because one is black and smokes weed.
Anyway, his country came in late hour anyway after he has spent so many time outside suffering. Australia came in. In fact, the flight he used, it's Australia that paid for it, and now he's owing them. He's going to owe them. He'll pay them about $520,000 for that chartered flight because he was taking him from one point to the other, from one point to the other. And like I said, the former Prime Minister, Kevin Rudd, stood for him because he's also the ambassador to Australia in America. And they did some plea deals, and well, we hope it goes well with him. So let's move on, gentlemen. Let's move on. Godwin has gone off. There's a warning coming from Russia this morning, but let's leave that until Godwin comes back. BD, there is other news flying. Yes, one of such is that let's talk about this whole issue of. Did you follow the debate? Were you tuned into the debate, BD?
Yeah, I didn't follow it. Honestly, I didn't follow it, but I knew it was going on. I didn't follow it. Yeah, and Trump. Yeah.
The debate was going on, and a lot of things were happening. Let me just break down some of what was going on. Sorry. Let me give some rundown of what was happening. First of all, with what I saw, BD, Biden's performance was very weak. Biden's performance was very weak. He didn't pull. He was galloping with some of his questions, some of the answers, and a lot of people agree that he's too old to serve another 4-year term.
So incoherent in his he was so incoherent in his speech. Yes. I noticed it.
Yes. So a lot of people are saying that to come another 4-year term will be a disaster, and everybody's agreeing to that. So he didn't pull through with the questions very well. Also, he stumbled on words. He stumbled on words on several occasions. Even his party people noticed that he didn't step up. But what they are saying is this. See what the Democrats are saying. They are saying that his performance, the physical performance of what he has done in governance matters. That it's not what he says in a debate that they should take as evidence. But I don't know how that can be, because you are what you say. So if you can't give well-defined explanation to what you're coming to do, then it might be hard to also do it. Anyway, that's what we had from the debate this morning. Biden didn't pull through as much. His performance was low. 81-year-old man, and now people are speculating that he might need to step aside in favor of another candidate so that he can the Democrats can pull through. So it wasn't a very powerful performance. On Trump's side, Trump was more, the issue around him was more of his hush pop, the hush scandal, and all that story around his integrity. So, but on a one-on-one question answering of response, we think Trump did better compared to Biden. So that's it. That's how it's been with the presidential election, the presidential debate. Take note that this whole thing will come to an end by, I think that will be in October. The American presidential election comes up in sometime in October this year. And the debate also, there will be a second round of the debate by September. Yes, a second round of debate by September, and election will be by November the 5th. So that's it. That's what we're following, viewers. If you're still connected to us, we're talking situation in the American presidential debate that was held in Atlanta yesterday, Friday. This morning, it was this, the timing for Europe was morning, but it was 9 p.m. Atlanta time yesterday. So, yes, let's move on to other things. We are hearing news of, there's a news, this one is technology news now, viewers. There's a news on the, what you call the ISS, international, let me get the photos well. The International Space Station will be bringing its operation to an end. And the contract has been given to Elon Musk. NASA's Elon Musk company is going to dismantle the International Space Station by the time it comes to an end very soon. So for those of us that don't know, the International Space Station is where astronauts stay, where they live while they are out there, out in space. That operation has been, that particular ISS have been on since 2020, 2000, and now it's time to disengage and dismantle the whole project. So US and Russia leads that project, but it's time to remove the whole machine and bring in other arrangements. So NASA will be controlling that. NASA SpaceX will be disengaging the whole system. Engineers say the laboratory will remain structured together, but the plan is to put in place a new setting, something very different from what we have now. And they've also said that when they disengage, this whole thing you see on the screen there will fall back to planet Earth. And you can trust they've done it, that it will fall into the Pacific Ocean. So it will be coming on anybody's head. So that's the news. ISS is coming to an end, and Elon Musk's SpaceX company will be handling the disengagement procedure. So yes, I'm trying to see what we have here as breaking news. There's a breaking news that we've just got now. It says Russia warns of direct confrontation with NATO if it threatens to destroy US spy drones over the Black Sea, as Kremlin declares the West is falling into abyss. Godwin, yes, thank you for coming. It's a breaking news coming in from your end. Russia is warning of direct confrontation with NATO. Did you hear that this morning? It says it will destroy US spy drones that is hovering over the Black Sea. And we know that this might trigger some military conflicts between Russia and the West. What do you have on that? Did you see that news? Did you see any?
Yeah, it's in line with different statements, rhetorics that could not necessarily. I mean, actions that could cause escalation. Okay. We know that what we know for a fact is that the US conducts reconnaissance operations around the Black Sea near Russia with their Global Hawk drone. Around that time or shortly after, there's a missile attack on Russian territory or Crimea or whatever, at least Russian administered territory, even if we can all agree it's administered by Russia. And there's a direct correlation with the reconnaissance operation of this Global Hawk and attacks on Russian residents. So it's creating room for escalation, and that's a fact. Now, between such powers, nuclear powers, like Russia and United States and NATO, in an event of a nuclear war, anybody that survives will have to live underground. In fact, we will envy the dead. Any living person in nuclear war, we envy those that have died. It's not something we want to go to. We will have to live underground because you can't live in the open. You can't live above the Earth's surface. You will envy those who have lived before you. So it's not something we want to get to. You understand? It's not. It doesn't take. It's not. It does. It doesn't need. It doesn't need direct contact. The nuclear war does not need direct contact to cause death. Just nuclear radiation and everything. We don't want to get to that stage. We also don't want having to conscript everybody in the country to fight this bloody war.
Okay, so let's keep it at that. You heard of the foiled coup attempt in Bolivia. Did you hear that? Bolivia had a coup attempt.
I didn't hear about that.
Okay. Yeah, there was a coup attempt, and some generals were also arrested after the thing foiled. So Bolivia is that country in South America, and this morning the president Luis Arc is calling the international international bodies come to support him after that coup attempt on, I think that was on Wednesday night. Coup attempt in Bolivia. We're still following the story, but a lot of military generals have been arrested, and but he has told his people to continue with their lives. Everything is under control. Soldiers were seen moving around the square, the city square, and authorities are in all places. Security arms are around the country, protecting anything that has to be protected. So Bolivia had a coup attempt, but it was foiled. There also there's a story of okay, we talked about the Biden performance and all that. Did you follow the debate this morning? It should have been this morning in your time. Did you get any?
I didn't follow the debate. People have already tagged me and sent me some things as they like to do. And the one they brought to my attention was when Joe Biden said something about migration officers, and Trump said, like, I don't understand that. I'm not sure he even understands what he's saying.
No, really, it was. I mean, but Godwin, you need to see Biden didn't do well at all. Poor performance, but if you ask, very poor.
I didn't say that. I'm just getting on the report.
Yes, people are saying the truth of the matter is this man can't hold for another 4 years.
But you look at the democracy. You want democracy. You want to export democracy to the world, but you're showing this to the world as the paragon of democracy. I mean, this is appalling.
Yeah, it was appalling. It wasn't a good one for Democrats. And Kamala Harris came out and said, blah blah blah, that his performance the last 3 years doesn't mean anything. Debate, talking on stage is not what it is, but it's his performance. But man, how do you talk like this and expect to perform well?
I mean, like you have to have some. I mean, even if we understand party politics, but there's a level of glariness on your face, right? In your face. And then you look at this and you say, come on, we have to admit something. We have to control something. We have to meet somewhere. But the Democrats are saying that you cannot at this stage say everything is fine with him upstairs. You can't at this stage.
No, things are not fine. It was not too good. White House has also brought out a statement saying that yes, he stumbled on some words on several occasions. He trailed off on some of the questions. But I mean, Godwin, I mean, if you look at me now, I had some red eye because I had to stay awake to watch. I didn't see anything impressive. It wasn't.
And Trump capitalized on it, right? Like.
Yeah,
I'm not
Trump.
Like, I'm not even sure.
Well, he was controlled. Trump was controlled. There was this controlling of the mic, so he couldn't say much except the questions he had to say. Because if he uses his time, everybody had that 2 minutes. If he uses his time to begin to criticize,
it was leashed.
So he was controlled. So, but I know backstage they will be laughing. Republicans will laugh their head off now, and they say, "Look at that! Look at this." Godwin, it wasn't a good one at all.
I will take our time to see that. I hope viewers will too, but unfortunately, that's what we see today.
Yeah.
And it's just caricature.
Yes. Okay, Godwin. We have to go now because yes, we've been awake all day trying to come to this from the broadcast at the debate, and we're here. But it's been nice hanging out with you. Thank you for coming. It's been nice giving the updates. Please check on the news for us, the Bolivian news, and the update from your end on what could happen. Putin is saying America should take that spy drone off their Black Sea, and we don't want anything. So give us update as we come next time. Thank you for coming. All right, viewers, this is it. SSM Friday World Affairs. It's coming straight from the American presidential debate, and we've come here. We thought staying awake might get some real good update to give, but I mean, we don't.
one way ride.
All right, Godwin. Thank you for coming. So, viewers, till we come again next week, have a beautiful weekend. Bye bye. All right.